Our community is a university, a cultural university, our community. The school itself is also a school, and the teacher, of course, is a teacher. But believe it or not, the students themselves and their families and their community is where it's all available. All the cultural material is available, and it changes every day, and some of it is there generation after generation. So that's where we need to go. And I'll give you an example. I was teaching a Chicano folklore class at Cal State Fresno in the Central Valley of California. And I was teaching a folklore class, and I told myself, I'm going to turn it around. I'll turn it upside down. I said, students, I'm not going to teach anything here. I'm not going to present any material. You're going to present the material. And you're not going to get it from me or from the books. As a matter of fact, you're going to get it from your house and from your parents, aunts and uncles, and from your community at large. But before we do that, I want you to say out loud kinds of stories that you have heard. What are some stories that you have heard? Well, about crossing the border. So I put stories about crossing the border. And what are the kind of stories or legends have you grown up with? Oh, La Llorona. And what else? Oh, about the ghost in Avocado Lake over here by at the edge of Parlier, next to Fresno. Okay, the ghost in Avocado Lake. And what other kind of ghosts are you familiar with? Oh, you know, the lost treasure of Pancho Villa. How many of you have heard about the lost treasure of Pancho Villa? A lot of hands went up. So I put that up because I'm after the stories of the people, folklore, the stories of the people, which is a major piece when we think of cultural assets, folklore, stories, legends, sayings, invented stories or word games, verbal art. All that is part of folklore, which is part of culture. Not ideas of culture, but the actual material culture, which are the stories in this case. And what else do you have? Oh, the story of Moctezuma's hidden treasure. Okay, how many have heard of Moctezuma's treasure? Oh yeah, you know, he left a lot of treasure buried somewhere in Mexico by the pyramids. How many have heard of something like that? A lot of hands went up. How about Pancho Villa? Yeah, my grandmother knew Pancho Villa. My grandmother knew. How many of you have family members that knew Pancho Villa? A lot of hands go up. So then we need those stories. So then, after it was all said and done, I had around 400 pages typed of folklore from those students' communities in the Central Valley of California. So this is a big project. It was called La Mano Peluda, the hairy hand, because they told a lot of scary stories. This is a particular kind of project. This example that I'm saying is that you can collect stories that the students already know. The parents may already know, and the grandparents and their community knows. But first you have to bring it out and then put it on the board or a screen or provide an example. And then you'll see the hands go up.